My sister-in-law Lisa, 32F, her best friend Emma, 32F, and my husband Jamie, 29M, were best friends growing up. Emma got married early when she was 20, however, her husband was abusive, and she has 2 children with him. She got divorced 10 years later, finally free from his abuse, but she suffered a lot and is probably still in therapy, along with her children. I, 30F, met Jamie 4 years ago, and we got married 2 years later. Everything was just awesome. What I didn't know was that Emma wanted Jamie, and Lisa made it her mission, when Emma finally got divorced, to bring her brother and best friend together. I didn't know any of this, so I never knew there was a hidden agenda. A few months into my marriage, I overheard Lisa talking about how Jamie was cheating with a married colleague of his. In hindsight, I can tell it was staged because she was providing unnecessary details and was very loud. She meant for me to hear it. I confronted her then and there, and she seemed very flustered. She apologized and begged me not to ruin my marriage. She told me Jamie loved me and she never wanted to lose me as a sister, but at the same time, she provided me with pictures and texts, all of which were photoshopped, showing my husband and his colleague. She begged me not to mention where I found out, and I was grateful for her support, so I promised not to expose her as the source. Later that week, I confronted my husband with everything, and he adamantly refused to admit to anything. It hurt me more that he never admitted nor apologized, ever. He asked me where I got this from, but I kept my promise and told him it was an anonymous tip. I also went so far as to contact the colleague's husband because, at the time, I thought it was the right thing to do. The colleague is this very beautiful woman that my husband worked very closely with for many hours a day. I was a bit jealous of that and I confided my fears with Lisa, and she used it against me. I asked for a divorce and the colleague's husband did too. After that, Lisa, who I thought was my friend, who called me her sister, disappeared from my life, like I never existed. Even when I bumped into her she was short with me and indifferent. Months went by, and I was still heartbroken trying to get over the separation. My husband stopped trying to make me see reason and agreed to starting the divorce. He said he just wanted to move on. Time went by, and I started having doubts. Why is Lisa doing this now? She was my friend and wanted the best for me, yet now she didn't even answer my texts. I followed both her and Emma on Instagram, and I started seeing how Emma and my husband gradually started hanging out. At least once a week, Emma or Lisa shared stories about my husband with Emma and her children. What I did next is very questionable, and yet I don't regret it at all. I was desperate, and I needed the truth. Lisa was dating a guy on and off named Mike, and I was still very good friends with his sister. I told her my doubts and everything. I told her that Lisa was my source, that my husband was cheating, that I was starting to doubt everything, and I would really appreciate it if they could help me find out if I was going crazy or not. Mike was easier to persuade to help me than I expected. He had Lisa's passcodes, and he went through her messages with Emma. And there it was, everything. They had plotted everything. They used my idiocy and insecurity and made me throw away the best thing that had ever happened to me. He sent me screenshots of all the conversations they had, even the original photos they used to Photoshop my husband with his colleague. Even though I found out the truth, and it shouldn't be my fault to begin with, I fell into a deeper depression. I stayed in bed, called in sick for 2 weeks. I have not only ruined my life but also another family's. I don't blame anyone but my own stupidity for ruining my marriage. I should have trusted my husband and the love he's shown me. I should have been honest with him about everything and where I got the news that he was cheating from. I should not have gone to hurt the colleague and her family just because I thought she was beautiful. She has since quit her job and moved, but I still had her husband's contact information. I had to at least apologize, so we met, and I told him everything. He was so angry with me, crying and yelling, and all I could think was that I deserved every insult he threw my way. I found the colleague on Instagram and DM'd her everything in a long apology, but she didn't answer me. Things are already ruined. I don't know if I should tell Jamie. I know I don't deserve him at all, and I know that he doesn't want me anymore, but maybe he should just know what Emma is doing and what she's capable of doing. Maybe I could start by reassuring him that I'm not trying to win him back, that I'm just trying to help him understand, and apologize. I don't know. Update 1. Hey everyone, I remember being so desperate and wanting to tell everything from the beginning and put it out there, maybe to try and make excuses for myself and for what I did. I appreciate that you wanted to help. I decided not to meet up with Jamie. Every time I tried to text him and ask for a meeting, I panicked. That wasn't a good sign at all. I wanted him to know everything in detail, and I tend to be all over the place when I'm panicking, so I decided to email him instead. I made a lot of drafts, cross-checked all the information, and waited an entire day before sending, adding some details here and there that I'd forgotten to include. I sent him all the manipulated pictures and the originals, along with every screenshot Mike sent me from Lisa and Emma's conversations. I made it clear, however, that I wasn't trying to manipulate him to have me back. Because I knew that what I did was unforgivable, but I wanted to warn him about who he's dealing with. I told him that I've been watching Emma and Lisa's Instagram, and I've seen that he was getting cozier with Emma. I wanted him to know all the facts if he was dating her, and that this took all my energy to write. Just the thought of him dating Emma, I can't. I texted him that I've sent him an important email, but he never answered me. On Wednesday, when I came back from work, Lisa, Emma, and Emma's 2 children were waiting for me outside of my building. Lisa started yelling and threatening me. She told me to call and tell Jamie and Mike that I had made up all of this because I'm a pathetic loser. She told me I didn't want her as an enemy because she would make my life sour. Believe me, you don't want me to make destroying your already miserable life my mission. Emma just smiled the entire time. She later said that my husband always had a crush on her and that he wouldn't believe my nonsense because he could finally be with her. The thing is, it felt like Lisa was more angry that Mike knew what she did rather than her brother, and she really was annoyed about Emma and told her to shut up all the time. I couldn't get them to leave, so I tried texting Jamie and told him that his sister and her best friend were at my place and were causing a scene. 15 minutes later, I saw them leave. Then Jamie texted, after not replying all those times before, that he wanted to come over if I was all right with it, and I agreed. He told me that he was very hurt that I would doubt him like this and believe those rumors. I told him everything again, without panicking. I told him that I loved and trusted Lisa. She was like my sister, and I asked him to put himself in my shoes. If he happened to hear Lisa talk about me being unfaithful, would he have any doubts about his loving sister's intentions? He stayed the night and left the next morning. We have been texting several times a day and talking on the phone and FaceTime every night since. He says that he loves me, but that he doesn't know what to do. He is very hurt, by his sister and Emma of course, but even by me. He hasn't talked about canceling the divorce process yet, so I will just have to wait, and that's understandable. I've turned his life upside down twice in such a short period. On a happier note, my husband's colleague and her husband are back together. My husband met with them and apologized. I've already told them everything, but my husband felt the need to apologize personally. Mike has ended it with Lisa, and Lisa and Emma's relationship is very strained. Both have blocked me from social media, of course, but apparently, Lisa is blaming Emma for Mike leaving her, and Emma has tried to throw Lisa under the bus by telling Jamie she was innocent in all of this. I really hope my husband forgives me, and I promise that I will make it up to him if he does.